Hey, everybody. It is Mike and Danny. Danny, how are you tonight?
I'm goofing off and got caught. How are you?
Good. Good. I'm excited for this topic tonight.
Honestly, I told somebody else what the topic was, and they asked me if they could use it on their show in a couple months.
No, they'll have to pay us franchising fees,
I said you could try,
licensing.
but the remake is never as good as the original,
That's right. This is a topic that is 100% exclusive to us. Nobody's ever thought to talk about this topic before.
especially when we show where we got the idea from. That'll really prove. I no, I seriously, I will give you all the credit in the world. That this I don't know if viral is the word, but this was a Twitter topic,
I didn't
and
start it.
you did not start it, but it's a fantastic topic for a hobby think tank, and I give you all the credit. This is a good one.
Thank you. Yeah. Um, so Twitter, I've become active on Twitter somehow recently. And if you want to,
Come to the X, baby.
oh no. Um, so y- y- those back pages, who's a YouTuber collector, a I would say a revered collector, tweeted something very provocative on Twitter the other day. We're gonna put it up here on the screen if Danny can do
You're
that for us.
we started with the other
It's
one.
it's a two-part tweet. One of them is those back pages. Are we seeing it? I'm not seeing it, but that's okay. Probably just because.
Oh no, we're not seeing it. You might as well just tell what it is.
Yeah. So those back pages tweeted out that uh, anybody whose Grail card is under $500 is I don't I'm gonna say it wrong, but he basically said if your Grail card is under $500, you're an idiot. You're not a true collector or something like that. And it blew up on Twitter. Do you have it? What does it actually say?
I, and I'd like to point out I had it correct the first time.
Never should have changed it.
Always go with your gut instinct. That's the lesson here.
Yeah. So I think this is just part of my StreamYard issue where it's just not going to show me. Is it up on the screen right now?
It is, and it's the Walking Dead saga, which is at those back pages. Quote: I will never understand calling a $500 card a quote Grail card.
Yeah. Yeah. So first of all, let's define a Grail card before we get into this discussion, because this blew up on Twitter and it completely changed my perspective on Grail cards. So what do you think a Grail card is?
It changed your perspective. Oh, I'm very interested to see where we're headed now.
Yeah.
It didn't change my perspective. Okay, so I think a Grail card is different for everybody. It's like a favorite movie or a favorite book. There's some,
Shawshank Redemption, by the way.
well, obviously, but other people don't know that. And Godfather's a and usual suspects, but that's not the point. The point is, what were we talking about? No. So the point is, when you have the Grail card, it does not matter if it's $500. It is something you should be chasing. That means something to you. That's why a good movie or a good book is personal. It's not the most expensive book. It's not. It's what you enjoy holding, looking at. What do you do with the card? That's my opinion.
Yeah. My First of all, he got a lot of misplaced hate for his tweet. I do not condone the some of the things that were tweeted at those back pages. Um, the thing that I had a problem with is not everybody can afford a $500 card. Not everybody can afford ever buying a $500 card. I have never spent $500 on a single card in my life. I will because I'll be getting my Grail card in the near future, and it will be more than $500.
But are you buying it because it's more than 500?
No,
Or are you buying it for other reasons?
I'm gonna buy a really cheap version of the one that I want.
But why do you want it?
Wow, That is such a good question. Well, let's go with Grail definition because somebody responded to his tweet with something that I really liked, and it was their definition of a Grail, which is basically you got to think about it like Indiana Jones going after the Holy Grail. You have to there has to be a journey to get it. Has to be really difficult to find. Takes you a long time. I really like that definition of a Grail. Now,
Not everybody believes in grills. You know that?
who who doesn't believe in Grails?
There's a account on Twitter called That 70s Card Show.
Hmm.
Um, and they responded from Earth, it looks like, if you look at the location. I don't believe in Grail cards.
I can't
So
imagine.
somebody who claims to be on Earth said that.
John Keating. That is the least surprising news of the week. I think that John Keating doesn't believe in Grail cards.
John Keating just keeps "I don't believe in blank" as a saved tweet, and then just fills in the blank.
He has a button on his keyboard.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know, John, I do like the opening to this show. I like it a lot.
John, I he killed his he anyway. He
Love
kills
him.
me. Yes.
So I want to hear about this Grail card because you got to tell the whole story now.
Okay, so my Grail card is a 1948-49 Leaf Ted Williams. I am
The whole
not
body or just the head?
a
Sorry. Cryogenic joke.
he's frozen.
Yeah.
I love the set, by the way. I love that card. Just the look of it. It's the colors. It is amazing. I am not a well-heeled collector. Does well-heeled mean rich? I think it does, right? I don't.
I thought it meant experience, but
Okay, so I'm just gonna say I'm not a rich collector. I don't have a lot of money. So $1,000 card. That's a big card to me. I think I
it's a, bit,
speak for
it's a big card for me. It's a big card for a lot of people.
I think I speak for the majority of collectors that $500 is a ton of money to spend on a card. For me, that is like I'm going to celebrate a promotion, a big promotion at work. I'm going to celebrate something big and I'm going to buy a really nice, well-centered 1.5
Okay.
SGC, PSA, either one, and drop a pretty good amount of money on a Leaf Ted Williams. And I'm not going to display it behind me. I probably shouldn't display, even though I've got, there's no risk of light damage. But I do worry about things. Probably should take down my Bob Cousy rookie autograph too. That to me, that's my Grail.
Now I'm going to ask you once again, why do you want that card? What makes it your Grail?
Well, I already said I love the look of it.
Well, but as opposed to a Yaz.
Okay, yeah, good question, good point. A Yaz is really easy to come by. A rookie, although if I wanted to go up to like a PSA 10, PSA
Well, yeah, sure.
9, uh,
I don't know. Are autograph Yaz rookies common or
they're pretty common.
obtainable?
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Okay.
one in about 6 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
but see, I'm spending a little bit of money to send off my Yaz rookie to get it signed in private signing, getting it back. That's easy. That's not a big deal. Finding the perfect Ted Williams rookie that fits my budget and fits what I want. And I want the Ted Williams because I was a huge Ted Williams fan as a kid. Obviously, he was long gone, not dead yet when I was a kid, but he'd been retired for 30 years almost 25 years when I really became a fan. But I read his book, The Science of Hitting. I met him in
Well,
Kmart in Brunswick, Maine.
can we talk about the baseball diagram of that he created with all the baseballs and the batting average and all the quadrants?
I don't remember that.
Oh, look at Google Ted Williams baseball diagram It changed my life of thinking about hitting. Like
Okay.
it all of a sudden it said like it all clicked. This is chess. This is not checkers. This is
And you
chess.
became a great hitter.
No, but I became a great watcher of great hitters.
Um, so yeah, I've always been a huge Red Sox fan. And who's the greatest Red Sox player of all time? Ted Williams. By the way, I'm going to say something controversial here that I know I'm going to get hate for in the comments. You put Ted Williams on those Yankees of those
Ooh,
years,
ooh.
he would have been he would have gone down as better than Mantle, better than DiMaggio. He would have had a lot more World Series.
Opinions expressed by the guest may not necessarily reflect those of Bench Clear Media.
Uh,
Um,
there's
no,
actually I
first
have
of
a
all,
subscriber who is a huge Yankees fan and has commented. I met him at the National, and he argued with me about the Yankees, and it was very, very playful and lighthearted. It was a lot of fun. So hopefully they're all like that.
I mean, since we're let's have this conversation. Put him in Yankee Stadium. You've got a left-handed hitter with a short right field. Um, yeah, I mean, he would have had numbers that would have been silly.
On a super team that
Yeah, I mean, he was still
won the
hurt
World
by
Series.
the war.
Sure, he
Uh,
missed 5 seasons essentially, like
prime
in his
season.
prime. Yeah,
Yeah,
3 full seasons, 2 partial seasons in his prime, but he still would have won a bunch of World Series. And that's the difference, right? Between
is
being
it?
Ted
Is it in
Williams and being
baseball?
Mickey Mantle.
Is it in baseball as much as other sports?
Yeah, because I think
Uh,
I
You're
need to
wrong.
look at. Wow. Okay.
Um, in basketball, because I think it goes proportionally to how many people are on the field. I mean,
Right. Luka Doncic is the best. He's a much better point guard than Trey Young, significantly better.
well,
But
now
Trey
we're getting
Young,
is he really a point guard or is he a point forward? And
or a shooting guard. Right. 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 Yeah.
you should do fantasy basketball.
Yeah. I am doing fantasy. I'm in 2 leagues already.
Yes. Wait, these are not regular leagues,
The dynasty leagues. Yeah.
dynasty
These are
leagues.
my third years in both of them. But anyway, where we have
We're on Grail
digressed from
card.
the topic.
So you know why I was where I was getting to.
Where
You know what one of my Grail cards is.
Moberg.
See, everybody would guess that. I'm going to catch you
No,
off guard.
it's a 55 Sandy Koufax.
No, Pete
Um,
Maravich, rookie,
Oh, okay. Is that a 70?
the tall.
Yeah, it's a tall boy,
Yeah,
70, 71. Is that right?
yeah, I believe so. It's
I
got
I almost pulled the trigger on one at the National. I came so close.
hard to find centered, hard to find in my price range. When you talk about a chase, I don't know that it's hard to find in general, but it's hard to find the one that I'm going to be able to buy. I don't something about that card. I don't want to beat her. I have a wall. You and I have joked about this off camera. I live in the world of twos and threes. You know that
Sure.
that's my sweet spot. You know, a solid two is has my name all over it. I want a little bit higher on the Maravich. I there's something about it. I, I think he's one of the most underrated players of all time. I think there's generations that are uneducated about him, and there's so little film. Um, but that to me would be on a very 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 short list of what I would consider a Grail card for me.
I read some interesting analysis that said that if the 3-point line had existed when he was in college, he would have
Yep.
averaged more than 50 points per game.
Well, because he averaged like
44.
48, 44, right?
44. So they're assuming that he was taking 6 shots from deep, and the stories go that he was taking very deep shots. So it's pretty reasonable to think he might have been at 50.
And that's when he thought it was only worth two.
Right.
If
Yeah,
you know it's
exactly.
worth more, you're taking more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's So for me, why is that a chase card? Because I have such a passion for the player. Um, and I think it's a nice looking card. Not everybody agrees. But
Got a great haircut in it.
that's what it is. It's because I'm balding. So I just want, anything that isn't like a Beatles mop, I'll take. Um, but I'm trying to think because I mean, you're actually buying your grill. I mean, this is breaking news.
Uh,
To me, I didn't know this when we started the show.
I'm not. I've got to wait until I get a big promotion at work.
Well, but you're a talented young man.
Oh, thank you.
I have faith in you. Um,
Thanks.
no, but seriously, like actually looking for it is half it. So for me, looking for the right marriage
Yep.
might take a year or two.
Yeah, I almost bought one at the National. There was somebody who had one in a 1.5 or 2, well centered, looked nice for $250. And I know, but I didn't have that much. I had 200. And I said, "Would you take 200 for it?" And he said, "No, it's already priced to sell." And I said, "I understand."
It was already priced to sell.
Yeah.
So next time, just text a friend,
I
like
think
phone
you
a
were
friend.
with me.
No way. I would
I don't
not have
remember.
walked away from that card.
I don't remember.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
try. So, so for you, the Williams
Yeah.
is your Grail because of the set, the player.
Yeah, the way it looks, who he was to Boston. I just even growing up, I remember watching the 1999 World Series live. Not 99 World Series, 99 All-Star game, where he came out on the field and guys like Tony Gwynn were surrounding him just to say hi and talk to him.
I remember he asked McGuire, "Can you smell the wood on the bat when you foul one off?" Well,
Yeah.
just that's a small fraternity of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, yeah, he was, I don't know. I think it's okay if your grail is $50.
So I'm working on the Koufax Master set, which has a lot of cheap cards,
What's cheap
under $25.
in a PSA slab?
Yeah, because you're talking league leaders,
Mhm.
team photos, a lot of that stuff. Some of those I really want. I'm chasing them. I'm researching them. I don't want to overpay. I mean, it adds up. I don't want to spend 20 on each when I can spend 10 on each.
Mhm.
If I get down to one that I'm really chasing, does that make it a grail?
I don't know. Well, that's what we're here to talk about. But can
That's
you
what
have
I'm
more than one grail?
asking. I think you can.
Isn't there only one grail though? You have chosen wisely. There's only one grail.
But if you don't own it, can't you have an interest and a passion in more than one? And it's a matter of opportunity in the hobby. Like you said, you have to
Hmm.
you have to find the right card.
Well, I think this is a good opportunity for us to say, let us know what you think in comments. We would love to know what the audience thinks about grails. Um, yeah, I mean, can you have so for me, my grail is that Ted Williams, but I have other big cards in my mind. Also, for me, a grail needs to be attainable. It needs to be something that I like a Babe Ruth 33 Gaudy, like the one behind you, not the real one, but the one that's on your door.
I was about to say before people rob my house.
Yeah,
That's a
but
sticker.
that is a dream card that I will never ever own in
Oh,
all of my
sure.
life.
Yeah, if you take money out of the equation, I'll take a 1914 Babe Ruth News American. I'll take, a 52 Mantle and a nine. We could play that game all day, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, we're talking attainable,
Which
something that
means
you could at some point afford, and it's something that you could find too. Like am I ever going to even see a T206 Wagner at the National? Sure, but
But is it ever really obtainable?
No. What if okay, so last week I did an Attic Find Friday video on a guy who basically, in my opinion, fraudulently printed a extraordinarily rare card and has claimed that it's real and worth $4.5 million for years. He's got his Grail card, right? Has he convinced himself that it's real? That's a Grail.
But why is that a grail? Just because it's expensive? Now we're back to just money.
Well, why wouldn't he have made up? Okay, fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he have made up an 89 Greg Jeffries? I mean,
Why would you need to?
right, that's my point. Yeah, so uh, I do think we should give love and respect to set and player collectors who chase rare cards that don't have the value. That it's a real chase on scarcity in the market. You
Absolutely.
said it
So
has to
you're
be
you're
attainable.
putting together a
Yeah,
57 tops, and there's a high number that you just can't. You want all of your cards to be in a certain condition, and there's a certain
whatever.
high number that you can't get a hold of. Yeah.
And I don't think that has to be an expensive card. I don't think that has to be a terribly emotional, personal card, but I think that can still be a grail.
Yeah, and then maybe you're putting together the 88 Donruss set fully autographed, and there's a guy who passed away in 1990 and only signed 3 of them or something like that, and your grail is that one, and it might only be 30 bucks when one comes up, but they're really, really hard to find.
So if we're building a definition, is it fair to say there's more than one definition?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I also don't get offended when people say, "That's my grail card," and then a week later they say, "That's my grail card," and it's 2 different cards.
I also don't care, and I'm happy if somebody wants to buy a grail card. Like, good for them. I think there's a lot of people who jealousy gets the better of them. Um, I'm if you get your Grail card, if you get your Yaz, if you get any of your cards, I'm happy for you just for getting your cards. So I hate seeing on social media when people hate on people who get cards they've been chasing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think the ones that I see sometimes are, "That's a big card to you?
right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
This is mass produced, guy. What's wrong with you?" Yeah,
right,
but it's important to me.
that's exactly you said it much better than I did. Thank you.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what I'm saying is the Grail card. I think definition one is an expensive goat card of all time. Sure. If you can afford your Marshall Fogel and you can afford to go shopping, no argument there. But that's not most people. Secondly, an emotional tie, something that means something to you, I think is a big category. Third, a specific chase of a set or a player or something to fill a gap. I mean, these are the three that. What am I missing in types of Grail cards? Was
Did we
that
say
the
did we say rare?
in
Or
true scarcity? Yeah,
yeah, condition specific?
that goes to true scarcity.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, I've also been looking at 1959 minor league program for the team that Carl Yastrzemski played for in 1959. Buy one of those and then get it autographed by Yaz. Be awesome. It's not a Grail
that's
card, of course, because it's not a card at all.
do you keep Yaz like in your closet to sign? You're making this sound way too easy.
He does private signings. He has one in 2
With
weeks.
you,
Yeah, he comes to my house.
right?
No,
That's what I figured. Yeah,
I mail the card off.
I'm gonna. Yeah. So how much does his rookie go for in a beater?
High two figures, 90 to 110 bucks
And
maybe.
what does he charge for the autograph?
125.
So the autograph's more than the card.
Can be. If you're talking beater.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
That's pretty
I
cool.
when I'm talking about buying a vintage card for an autograph that I have to mail off, I'm buying a mediocre card. I don't want to
Okay.
spend on a mid grade or obviously high grade and then mail it off to get signed and have it come back to me. And I've got to pry it out of the photo corners and the piece of cardboard. No, you're asking for trouble.
All right. Before we run out of time, I heard you got fired, so you're not getting your promotion. What's your next Grail card?
A new job, I guess.
Well, besides that,
So
you immediately go to the card shop. That's your rational decision.
I got fired from a job
You run to the card store.
and I can't afford to feed my family, but I'm buying cards.
Nobody said that. It was a lovely severance package.
Oh,
Golden parachute.
gold. Okay, so I've got a nice severance package, and I already have another job lined up. So the severance package is like bonus money, right?
That's what I'm saying. But
Which is okay.
but it's not that you can't get the Ted Williams.
I don't. That's a really good question. I guess I would pick a lesser Ted Williams from the 50s because I'm also trying to collect his basic set.
So you'd stick with Ted Williams over sticking with the Leaf and a different player.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Okay.
because the only other players I would want in Leaf would be Jackie Robinson.
Babe Ruth.
Yeah,
He was pretty good. I mean,
he was okay. He was okay, yeah.
so
I mean, 48, Jackie Robinson, I mean. Um, yeah,
that's our Grail card.
yeah, yeah. Did you get your 55 Koufax yet?
3.5 SGC 3.5. I'll leave it at that.
3.5. That's pretty good.
It's a nice 3.5. I'll
Nice.
take it down later. I'll show it to you.
Nice.
If I stand up right now, I'm going to ruin the illusion of the Blazer.
Yeah.
Um, all right, take us out of here. We've solved the world's problems. I feel. How do you
Yeah,
feel?
we always do. And then more crop up and we're back next week. So if you have opinions on Grail cards, throw them down in comments. Make sure you're subscribed, not only to Bench Clear Media, but to me and to Danny's. What's your channel, Danny?
Hobby News Daily. Add Hobby News Daily.
At Hobby News
That's where I want everybody subscribing
on YouTube.
on YouTube. Yep.
Okay. And
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
we
Yes.
appreciate you guys.
We own at Hobby News Daily. If there's any confusion, at Hobby News Daily, we will take you to my site. Yes.
Great. All right, everybody. Thanks very much for watching and for contributing in the comments.
You're my favorite host, Mike. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
See ya.